Hello there everyone, and welcome to a new review on the channel. And today we're looking at a really new product, at least at the time that I'm filming this. It is very new, and that is Tricolour by Simon Lipkin and the 1914. Now this is a product that a lot of people have questions about, have inquiries about, and are asking about what exactly are you getting, how fooling it is, how easy it is to use, etc. And I will be attempting to answer all of those questions from the offset. Now, one thing I'm going to tell you before we actually enter the review is personally from the actual trailer of the product and the ad copy, I wasn't really sold on it. I wasn't really kind of interested in this and didn't really find the appeal of it. And even I feel that's what a lot of people got from the initial trailers and the initial ad copies, even on forums. But once you actually purchase this, and you see how much you can do with this. This is not a color match. This is an actual project and a utility system that you can use for so much more than a color match. And everything is explained in the tutorial. And I feel that that should have been put a bit clearer in the ad copies and the trailers. So I'm going to give you all the information that you need. I'm sure you're interested in knowing more. So let's roll the intro and get straight into it. Perfect, so you decided to stick around, which means you want to learn more about Tricolour. So what is Tricolour? Tricolour, from what it's kind of the main idea surrounding it, it's a color match routine in which you're going to have 3 pens. You give the spectator the choice of a pen. You're then going to remove from your pocket an envelope. You're going to remove a card with 3 different drawings. You're going to turn around, you're going to ask the spectator to color in the first drawing. Then they're going to take another pen, color in obviously the second drawing, and the third pen color in the last drawing while your back is turned. So they do that. Then when they're done, you turn around and you say, look, you could have chosen any pen. You had the choice of the pen at the start. You could have changed. You had the choice on the table. You could have chosen either. You could have even changed your mind at the last second. It was fully your choice. These could have been colored in any order. But I don't know if you saw, but in the envelope, when I took out your card to give it to you so you draw the images, there was something else inside. Did you see that? They're going to say yes or no. It doesn't matter. You see, because inside of the envelope that's been on the table or that you've been holding to the entire time, there's actually a prediction. And it says you will color in a red smiley face, a blue house, and a green tree, for example. And it's going to match completely with their prediction. But Tricolour is so much more. Tricolour can also be used as a free will plot where a spectator has the pens, they shuffle them, they place one in their right pocket, one in their left pocket, one in their back pocket. Then from your back pocket, you remove, let's say, a green cap, they remove their pen from the back pocket, and it matches. Same for the right, same for the left. There's also a chair test that you can do with this, like a close-up chair test with envelopes. So you have 3 spectators. One spectator shuffles the pens and gives one to each. You then have someone shuffle a bunch of cards. You then give 1 card to each spectator. Then you also have 3 envelopes. You give 1 envelope to each spectator, and then they draw a certain image based on what the card is that they chose in that respective color. And then when they open the envelope that they've also had even before, they've learned what they're supposed to draw. Matches completely for all 3 spectators, even after all the shuffles, all the mixing, all the distribution, everything matches. So that's what you get in terms of the routines in the main tutorial, because then you're going to get a bonus tutorial with even more ideas 6 months after the original tutorial was filmed. So in that tutorial, you're going to learn how to do the color match routine with mentally selected images. So instead of giving them a card with already printed images on it, they're going to be able to choose the images themselves, and you'll be able to predict that as well. You're also going to be learning some other ones like drawing duplication. You're going to learn how to do a drawing duplication with a color reveal in it. You're going to learn some additional applications to the actual chair test routine and some bonus extras as well. So how to gimmick a 4th pen, how to do it with a 4th pen, what to consider, a bunch of other things. You're going to learn all of that and more in the extra tutorial. So as you can see, this is much more than the color match that it's marketed as. It is a system that you can use for a multitude of routines, and there's a ton of things that you can do that aren't even explained in the actual tutorial. You know, he even gives you ideas for how to do this on stage with dual reality. So many things that you could do with this system once you have it. So I hope that I kind of cleared up, instead of doing a performance, all of the depth of things that you could do with Tricolour. So now that we've said that, let's talk about where you buy this, how much does it cost, and what do you get. So Tricolour is available, of course, from the 1914, but you can also get it from any of your favorite magic dealers. Personally, I got mine from Trip on Magic. I definitely, if you're in the US or in Canada, they're a very good dealer, and honestly, I've started looking at them a bit more because they have a lot of deals, and their conversion rates between US and Canadian dollar is very good. But again, I digress. But that's where I got mine. And it will set you back 59 US dollars, which is around 75 Canadian. So what do you get for your 75 Canadian dollars? Well, you're going to get this beautiful box. Inside of this box, on the tab, you're going to be getting a tutorial. The tutorial, as with any 1914 product, is separated with live performances, explanations, routining, etc. for every single effect. So it's made in chunks. As a total runtime, I think it's a bit over 2 hours if I were to guesstimate, because as I said, it's different videos separately with different runtimes, but I think put together it's over 2 hours. And then you're also going to get your load of props. Now, these are not part of it. These are my envelopes that I use for the chair test, but what you're going to be getting is this. So you're going to be getting 3 Sharpie pens. So these are the Sharpie pens that you are going to be getting. You're going to get 3 of them. And of course, as you know, inside are different barrels. So you're going to get these 3 pens. Then you're also going to be getting, of course, the normal caps for the pens. So these are the normal caps. So for you to be able to do the ones in the pockets where you're going to be able to show, you know, oh, in this pocket it's green, in this pocket it's red, etc. So you're going to be getting the pens. And then you're also going to be getting here 3 envelopes, 3 beautiful envelopes, Tyvek. They're really sturdy for you to be able to hold your predictions and for you to do some other effects with them. You're going to be getting that as well. And then you're also going to be getting some of these cards that are, you know, they're not the best card. There's not even billets, but these fit perfectly inside of the envelopes in order to have your predictions or have drawings made, etc. You're going to get some of this as well. So in total, you're going to get this, you're going to get the caps, you're going to get your Tyvek envelopes, and then you're also going to be getting, of course, your pens with what you need to do, with what you need to have in order for the effect to work. So that's everything that you get. And some of this is produced, I think, in my opinion, very well, because the envelopes are not normal envelopes. I think some people already know kind of what envelopes they are. And the pens are also gimmicked, as I think everyone expected, and even as the ad copy says, in a very interesting way. And the way that they're marked is ingenious, and the way that this works is kind of really, really smart. And I feel that, yeah, it's not something that you could do at home. It's not, you know, a marking system that you could think of, because people mostly will think that it's marked on the Sharpie logo or on the barrel or anything like that, but it's not. It's very smartly designed, and I think it's not something that you could easily do at home or at all at home. So the package that you get has not only an excellent tutorial, excellent routines, but also excellent props that you're going to be having for the rest of your life, as long as you do not lose the gimmicks. The Sharpie pens, you can just go to Staples, Dollarama, your dollar store, Walmart, or Amazon, and just buy refills. It does not matter. So yeah, I think that this is a project. Yes, it's 60 bucks, but you're essentially going to be getting something that's going to last you for your entire life. And yeah, that's what you get with your purchase. Now let's talk about difficulty. So how difficult is the Tricolour effect to perform? Now, as I said, there's multitude of things that you can do with Tricolour, but overall it's relatively easy. It's nothing too hard. Once you know the system, once you know the working of it, you're going to be able to do most of the routines no problem. Most of the routines I'd say are between beginner and intermediate level. The only routine that is a bit harder is the actual, they draw the images themselves, because that does rely on, you know, psychological ploys, and it may not always hit 100%. Even Simon says that it hits around 85% of the time, but for him that is enough. So, you know, one of the routine is a bit harder, I'd say intermediate to advanced, but all the rest is relatively easy to perform. There's no sleight of hand or anything like that, and everything is motivated, which is what I really like, because of kind of the trailer and what we got. You know, you couldn't really know, oh, is the prediction in play from the start? Yes, it is. Are the pens in play from the start? Do they have a choice to change their mind? Yes, they have. Is the choice, you know, that they make fully free, forcing anything? No, there's no forcing. Yes, the choices are completely free. So, you know, these are things that I feel are important to know, because maybe the ad copy didn't do it justice, and those are questions that I saw resurface a lot in forums and in YouTube comments, especially the prediction. Yes, the prediction is in play before they start coloring in. So they will be holding to the prediction before they start coloring in the drawings. Keep that in mind. So now let's talk about practicality. So how practical is this to perform? Again, it depends of the effects. No matter what, you're going to have to carry around the 3 Sharpies. But if you do, for example, the color match, you're going to need your envelopes. If you're going to do the one in your pocket, you're going to need the additional color caps. If you're going to do the drawing duplication, you're going to need billets. If you're going to do the chair test, you're going to need envelopes and billets, right? So it depends on the routines that you do, what you have to carry around, but overall it's relatively packed small. You know, if you have a top pocket, you have your 3 pens in there, your prediction card, and you're good to go. In terms of inspectability, these are inspectable quickly at a glance, but I don't even feel that they need to be inspected because of how fair the routine is. And for most of the routines, the pens are kind of just a throwaway. For example, the drawing duplication, you literally just tell them, pick any pen, take it. Look, the other ones, we'll just place them in your pocket. We don't need them. It's kind of nonchalant, so the pens don't even play a part in some of the routines. You know, they're not the integral part of it. So I don't think it's going to need to be inspected all the time, but at close inspection, I think that it could fly by, but overall, I think it can be easily just looked at briefly by spectators, but I wouldn't give them too much because personally, when I got my package, I immediately saw how it works. So I was like, okay, I immediately know how it works. So that's something to keep in mind regarding inspectability. Then regarding reset. So your reset, depending on the effect, will require something. For example, for the chair test and for the color match routine. For the color match routine, you're going to need to have a stack of pre-prepared drawing cards. So if you're going to, you know, since the spectator is going to color in the drawings, you cannot use that card anymore. So to avoid having you to draw the things at your gig, just have a pre-prepared stack of like 10 cards. And once the performance is done, you just take a new one, place it in the envelope, and the reset is done in like 5 seconds. And for the chair test type routine with envelopes, you're just going to need new envelopes after every performance because they're going to do their drawings on the actual envelopes themselves. So those are not going to be usable for your next performances. So what I have here is for like $5, you can buy these really cheap envelopes from Amazon and they give you, I think, 75. So you can just run through them for $5. You can keep buying them and using these envelopes for your actual chair test type routine if you want. Okay. So in terms of, you know, reset is going to depend on what routine you do. For example, the drawing duplication is instant reset. The pocket one is instant reset. So it depends on the effects that you are doing. In terms of table, you do not need a table for any of the effects. Basically, a table can be better if you want for presentation, but you don't necessarily need a table. Even in the live performances, there's live performances of him doing this at a table, but also live performances of him doing the effects standing up. So you do not necessarily need a table for this, but if you have one, use it. If you don't, you can still perform pretty much every single effect in the way that it's designed, even without a table. And in terms of angles, the angles are pretty much 360 for the routine. Now let's talk about where you perform. So where do you perform Tricolour? Tricolour is something that you can perform pretty much anywhere. You can do this close-up, you can do this table hopping, you can do this restaurant, you can do this at parlor shows, cabaret shows, you can even do this on stage. He gives you ideas of how to make this play bigger and make use of the system to play for a larger audience and to play for even larger predictions and to kind of use principles like dual reality in order to build, you know, different visions of what's going on for the spectator on stage and the others. So it's very interesting of how he kind of gives you ideas to use this on stage as well. So this can be pretty much done anywhere as long as you have human spectators. This is not something that you can do, for example, on Zoom. So now that we've covered all of this, what are the positives and negatives of Tricolour? As always, we're going to start out with the negatives. So what are the negatives of Tricolour? Honestly, there's not many. I think one of the negatives is that the pens cannot be incredibly closely examined. I mean, maybe it's just me because I'm a magician and I already had an idea of how this works. So I was immediately able to notice how it works. And maybe for a spectator, they won't. But I feel that maybe if they have an idea and they look too closely at the pens, they're maybe going to find out. But still, I don't think it should be a problem. I think it still can be inspected, but for some people that may be something that bothers them. And except for that, there's really no other negative that I can say. It's relatively incredible. So yeah, that's the only negative that I can kind of muster. Let's go into the positives. One, it's relatively easy to do. There's a ton of applications for this. This is not just a color match, it's a full set of routines. The utility system, you have everything that you need from the start. You know, they even give you the billets to prepare your predictions. They give you the envelopes. Everything is there. This is something that's going to last you a lifetime, because as I said, the gimmicks do not run out. You know, they don't depend on the pens, which means that you don't have to refill the Sharpie. You can just buy a new Sharpie and you're good to go to perform it again. So it's very nice that once you have this, you're not going to have to buy refills, not going to have to buy anything expensive. You can just go to your local Walmart, buy 3 new colored Sharpies, and be back into the routine. So that's very nice as well. It's angle proof, it's practical, it's just very, very, very good in my opinion. So would I recommend Tricolour? I think that if you're into mentalism, I think you should definitely pick this up. Even if you are like myself and you're a bit like on the fence based on the trailer and the talk surrounding this, I think you're going to be making a mistake not picking this up, because it is so much more than the color match that they market it as. I promise you, it is so much more, and I feel that you're going to be using one of these routines no matter what. Even the color match, I think, will surprise you in how efficient and good it is. So I fully recommend this. If you're into mentalism, I think this is something that you're going to be proud of owning and you're probably going to be using. So having said all of this, what do I give it out of 10? I'm giving Tricolour a 9.5 out of 10. It is exceptional and it gets my highest recommendations. So having said all of that, I want to thank you all for watching. If you have any additional questions, leave them down below. If not, I'll see you in my next video. Have a great one, and bye.